My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie.
Well, let's say good evening to our viewers. This is the program, The Bottom Line. And The Bottom Line comes to you every Tuesday and Friday. And we discuss issues about Liberia, or mainly politics and our human interest. And so tonight, as we inch on the new year, we have a few more days if you want to make it countable, make it 72 hours roughly to 2023, we're going to be in high gear and we're going to be delivering the information as they come. But so let me welcome my colleagues, my fellow hosts on the program. Mr. Jima Kamara is there in the UK, and Mr. Paul the Lord Chilipre is also. I don't know if somebody can be Mr. and be your Lord at the same time. I don't know, but Paul the Lord Chilipre is in the UK as well, but they are not in the same location though. And so let me say welcome to you, gentlemen, on this edition of the program, The Bottom Line. Are you guys ready in high spirit?
Well, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to our listening audience. And yeah, I'm in high spirit. It's been great. Had a very nice festive season, and then looking forward to the new year by His grace. For some reason, I just feel cool. What about you guys?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me. I've been away for a little while, been a very busy period for me. And it's good to be back here on Borderline. And while we're trying to follow up a year, we try to say a big hello to those who are watching or following everywhere, wherever they are. We say, welcome once again to the Borderline Liberia. Thanks, guys, for the good job here so far. Thanks for inviting me and thanks for being here.
Yes, as usual, I'm fine. We've had, I don't know how it looks in the UK, but here, 3 days now it's been snowstorm. Imagine yesterday evening I was going to work and the snow, we were in queue, more than almost 15 cars in queue, and you could hardly see the tail light of the next car. And I like that time when it's actually snowing really, really profusely. It's good to drive because it's not slippery. So, but the only thing is you got 5% visibility. But I mean, we in Scandinavia we are trained for that because if you don't get your snow driving, your winter snow driving license, I mean, or let's say if you don't pass it, you don't get a license at all. So we know what to do. So well, it was good. And as I speak to you, it's still snowing. So yeah, I mean, we feel good, especially with a new moon like this. The snow comes and it's not that cold. So we're reading the 7 minus. It's good.
Wow, great, great. Yeah, it's been raining here for some
Mm.
reason. Yeah, I think Scotland is very is windy, so some a thunderstorm and all that. So but that is winter. We used to it. So, what's on the menu today, Linfo?
Well, tonight we have a couple of things that we'll be discussing. We'll be talking about uh, what seems to be like a rift within the NPP, that's the NPP, National Patriotic Party. What seems to be like some confusion, some divide, some parallelity. Like people say there is parallel parties, or something like that. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be looking at it. Uh, should there be anything like that where there's a rift and the NPP will have to be divided against itself? That means that they might not even stay within the CP. I mean, or the collaboration with the CDC. So we'll be looking at that. And another thing we'll be looking at is, for the football world, and we that love football, and even people who do not actually love football but they hear about football, we all bereaved. We all lost a great star in person of Kimpele, and so we just look at a brief history about him, some of his greatest achievements, and so that's some of the things we'll be looking at. And recently, the Secretary General of the CDC and also City Mayor of Liberia, Monrovia, sorry, Jefferson Kweji, made some statement. Will be dissecting what he actually meant and how important is it or how irrelevant it is. And if time permits, we'll be looking at other issues that you may bring or Jima may bring. So those are just a few of the things that we'll be talking about tonight. So we ask our viewers to share the video and help us to increase the viewing public. so that we'll all discuss these issues. And we also, our phone lines are open. You can call us. We'll put it number on the screen later on. And at the same time, our engineer, Jima, is there with the online radio. He always splashes us on the online radio while we are going live simultaneously on Facebook. So if you don't catch us on Facebook, you can catch us on the online radio as well. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Paul, is there anything else I left out?
Oh no, I think you spot on with everything. So yeah, we just said what is on the menu, and then we take it from there. And we'll ask our listening audience to share the show in your various chat rooms or groups to increase our viewership. So yeah, Jamal, any update for you from the radio land, Jamal?
Yeah, so far we have a radio line connected. So wherever you are, you can join us on the online radio. That's the Border Liberia radio. We will be bringing you live as if you don't have a chance to watch our live with the video, you can always catch on the online radio. As we go on, we'll drop in the link so you can able to catch on this station. It's 247 on the dial. Always follow the Liberian Borderline Radio.
Great. So, Linford, so let's give our condolences to the footballing world, especially to Kimpele, his family. For this time, he brought joy and pride to the game that some of us play. So, can we can we get into it and talk about the football a little bit? Although before we talk about Pele, my team Arsenal in the UK for some reason since Jesus Christ came into Arsenal, we just on fire, man. We just ripping things apart. And now we're 5 points clear of the league table here. And I just got the feeling the next game we got, I think is everyone looking forward to Arsenal and Man City. When we beat them, we there. So the other teams
And
were Manchester.
I was watching, I tuned in late. When I looked, it was 1-0 when we played West Ham, right? It was 1-0. And I was like, what? Why West Ham always give you a hard time? But then second half, man, when my boys started real football, I mean,
Yeah.
they just devoured them to 3-1. And I guess all the Man U supporters were shaking. They were like,
Yeah.
what? What's going to happen to us?
Like Jamal, he's shaking now because where we are now, we are 10 points ahead of them. They kind of worry because the way the speed at which we going is just unstoppable. And some of the way the guys are playing, they play similar football that Pele played back in the day. So we'll be talking about this. Oh, Jamal, you can talk something about your poor Manchester.
No, man, what you say?
One thing I want to tell you, you guys got quite excited about football sometime. We know, like, what Arsenal is today proud of, we made history. United has made history in the past. You can tell you. We got history in football compared to any other thing here in this country. And when you talk about football, United is one of those big teams you can talk about. I know this is good thing about UK, and you just got to change. You should say a big thank you to a guy like Saka, who is doing a great job for you right now. I mean, I can see he's phenomenal. But the thing you don't know is that we just got, this country has how many games we have to play. How many games we have to play? So we just not even in half of the player. You tell you already shout, you already excited. I can see how elated you're.
Man, from the time you're sad, David Moy, that was my man. We're sad, David Moy.
And I will tell you something. What we're doing today, you see, we were down. We in the 5th group. I mean, the top 5, United is in there. So I'm just telling you, what you are bragging off today, we made those history. United made those games. So I'm not surprised tomorrow you'll be saying, oh yeah, or Jesus was not around. Jesus he went to heaven, he came back, he was not around before they made mistake. Well, this good thing here, this is Christmas, and we go that the religious part is there. But don't forget, give credit to Saka also. Saka is doing very great for that team.
Jamal, history tell in the UK, the team that topped the league during Christmas become the champion.
But can you compare Arsenal history with United history record?
We get better history. Arsenal, the team that never been relegated before, so don't even go there before we go deep down into the history. It's the only team that
we got a job to do here. Forget about let's
All
give
right.
tribute
So
to the
the
great
reason
king.
why I brought this up because I want to show something about a great man to who paying tribute to Pele before we get into our political thing. So I want you guys to talk about this guy after this little clip, the thing that Pele's did on F.
Think your favorite player did, Pele did it first. Let's start. Ronaldo, the chop, Pele did it first. Cruyff turn, Pele did it first. And then, of course, Zinedine Zidane, Pele did it first. Iniesta's dribbles, Pele did it first. Different kinds of skills, Pele did it first. These are things that if you don't watch and if you don't analyze and if you don't see, you might think that the modern player started it first. Or Pele did it first. Same thing with Maradona. Look at this skill by Zinedine Zidane here. Pele did it first. Pele did it first. Even the bicycle kick by Ronaldo, Pele did it first. This by Messi, Pele did it first. And it's so incredible to really watch and analyze the beautiful game through the lenses of the people that came before us, the people that put on a show, that carried football on their backs literally, so that the modern guys can actually play in this glorified and level-headed world where players are respected and paid what they're supposed to be paid. Pele did it first. Most of the skills, Pele did it first. Most of the run-ins, Pele did it first. The free kicks, even to free kicks, look at this, even to technique, Messi used his left foot. Pele also used his left foot, coiled it to the corner. Even to this Roberto Carlos style of shot, Pele did it first. Even to this particular goal right here. Look at this, the same thing. Pele did it first. To the bicycle kick, Pele did it first.
That was the great Pele who sadly passed away at the age of 82. Jamal, talk to us about Pele.
Well, you know, when you're talking about legend football, we all love the game. Some of us did not see him playing. When we were not born, he was retired. I think 1972 he retired from football. Somewhere 77, 72. We were still around. Our parents were not thinking about bringing us on this earth. But he made history. You know, we talk about football, we talk about Pele, we talk about came for music, talk people like Michael Jackson and other great names. You know, Pele is one of the names I'll still live on from generation to generations. And he's one of the players that was given, I think in the UK, the first foreign player to be given the call the KBE. That is the Knight Commander of the British Empire by the late Queen Elizabeth. You know, and he was given the command. That's the KBE. That's a higher command given to a foreigner from outside the football. That was given by, well, at the time he was Minister of Sport in Brazil. And apart from that, he mailed out. He was also a humanitarian, Paul. He gave one of 1,600 of the items to raise $3.6 million for charity. This is a guy, he was a great guy. Being a football player, he may have ups and downs, but he was a great man. And he did a lot of stuff for charity, he did a lot for humanity. And if you look at his record, I'll just go a little bit around of some of the record, what the Pele career in numbers. He has the three record number. He's the number three, the record number of the world. He won three World Cup to get. That's why he won. The only player, I think, for Brazil. He was on that thing that brought 3 World Cups cup to Brazil. And 17, at the age of 17 in 1958, he remains the youngest man to play in the World Cup. At the age of 17, became the youngest man to play in the World Cup. Stayed. Nobody has beaten that record. So those are the record. We just want to take you quickly through that. In that age, he I think scored a hat trick. And 3 goals in the World Cup finals against Sweden in 1958. And he scored that once again in 1970, he did that against Italy. 77 goals for Brazil. Recorded that was recently matched by
Lima.
Neymar, you're right? 1,281 goals. Pele career goal in Italy, according to the FIFA website. The disputed total includes friendly games. 767 had his goals official matches as tracked by the Rec Sports so-called magazine Statistics Foundation. Those goals came in 831 games. 1,089 goals for his Brazilian club, that's Santos. And the only club he played for, I think that was New York. He wanted to play for New York. He went to move. He moved to play in New York. From there, he went back home. But the record we're saying right here, he says Santos through his friend list, he included this the Soccer Statistics Foundation lists his competitive record at 643 in 659 games, the most of the player for any of the club until surpassed by Lionel Messi, 672 for Barcelona. Two clubs he represented, Santos and New York Cosmos. The only professional play football he played after Santos in his own country, he wanted to play in America in Cosmos. So you got, look, Paul, we will keep talking about this great guy. People will be recounting his past. He was a great man. I remember I did one thing. I watched one of those black and white movie, and when he came from injury, you know that famous bicycle
Kick.
kick.
Yeah.
After he came by, he scored that goal. I didn't see it was a black and white. I still remember that. So he's a guy. One thing I didn't happen to be to see him in person, but he was a great man. I think we will live to talk about him like he's one of those guys. If you talk about him, talk about Bob Marley, talk about Michael Jackson, many other great people that came to the world that make mark. You know, there are a lot of things. I was listening to BBC this morning. I think they said Bobby Charlton was saying, one of the great football players of England, said football was made for Pele because he could play anything. Anything could fit him. He could do anything on the field play. It will make sense. So he was a good man, and we pay. I know he's not a guy. We celebrate his life today. He's no more, and we know that he pay a tribute. We have to pay a tribute to him. What he brought to this the beautiful game called football. A great man. He was a great man, Paul.
Yeah, that's true. He was a great man. Yeah, I mean, he was the great legend to say. So Pele, we gave it to him. But before we move on, there's somebody else that played the same era with Pele in
And Paul,
Liberia.
just before you move on from the
Yeah.
Pele topic, I send you something in your inbox. I don't know if it's possible. You can place it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on your WhatsApp.
So while doing it, I just want to
Yeah,
know.
while you're doing that, I can come in with my bit on Pele.
Yeah, please do.
You know, when I was growing up, from a very, very young age, around the late 60s, around 67, 68, the
You
names we
grew up.
used to hear in Liberia were like Wani Moto, but we didn't really pronounce it as Wani Moto, we say Mani Moto. Mani Moto. So when we used to play lamb at that time, you know, we play lamb or we fix the ganga ball that can bounce in one direction and when we used to play. And then we play, we say, look at Mani Moto. So then the name Pele came, you know, and because Pele was, of course, international, so it was difficult for kids to get know like that. So the name Pele is so special in football world, and that, like the commentary we just saw in that little documentary, the commentary there says all of the things that the great players of today are doing, from the Joshua, the Ronaldo, the Ronaldinho, the Messi of now, the Mbappe, all the great people, the David Beckham, all these people, Pele did all of those. And, you know, I'll go to compare an electrical engineer today who is, you know, developing these small gadgets that we can use in the mobile phone, all these small chips and other stuff. They all are credited to who? Albert Einstein. If Albert Einstein, who didn't even have Google, who didn't even have laboratory research in, can develop electricity. So it's based upon that everything we got in electricity today is coming up. So then God made great people, and I will tell you the reason why. Galileo, All the great scientists, discoverers, who were their professors? Who taught them? Nobody. Some of them were self-taught, and some of them were just gifted. So God made those people to lay the foundation for what we have today. The only thing we can do is to improve on what they have developed. So it's the case of Pele when it comes to football. So whoever comes out today, after the Pele, after the Ronaldo, the Messi, the this and that, whatever they do will be based on what Pele and others have done in the future. You know, so the parable by the old people that you can plant a new mud over the old one, over the example of the old one, that's exactly what the guys today are doing. I mean, they may do something to look strange, but it's all based on what people like Pele did. And so he was a great man in that particular area, and nobody could take it from him. And one good thing I've heard all along about Pele is that he was humble, and that even all of the great players today will always say Pele was great. They will not say I'm greater than Pele, right? They will always say Pele was great. So this is something that we can't take from him. So if you, I don't know, Paul, if you are able to upload that thing I sent you.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Yeah,
And
Paul, while you're uploading them, I'll just read a little line. Somebody did a documentary on Pele. There's a guy called David Trahon. He's a director. He did. I'll just read a line he said about Pele when he passed to yesterday. This documentary is on Netflix. The documentary is called Pele, labeled Pele. He said, quote, post 1970, the first thing that comes to mind when we think of Brazil is football. And while there is a wildly talented double generation of players responsible for that, the unifying figure is Pele. So he set the pace. That's a moving statement. He set the pace for generations of football. They just recently ended football World Cup. The high hopes were on Brazil. People were surprised. People are surprised when Brazil come out of the qualifying round or second round, or people are just surprised. Brazil, Argentina coming out earlier in the games. They say, "How can that be?" We give credit to people like Maradona and Pele and other generation that are coming after them. So those are good statements made by people that have been following them. And he got movies, like I said, he made money for charity. He went there, he put his own collection, 1,600 of his own collection, he put out there. He raised $3.6 million for charity. He was an humanitarian, Paul. So not only about the football side, he also give back to the community with people will talk about his upbringing, for instance, when he was a black man from the background as a black man in Brazil, you know what they say, like he's almost associated with how do you say marginalization, black man background slavery in a country where you're not being accepted. He just changed the dynamics.
and he also came from the slum community as well.
That's it is. He changed the dynamics in our country when he was a black man. This is the reason Africa in general, people of the black region, are always giving respect to this guy, because he make football a place that we all can enjoy. So people, those who come out today say the name Pele will still live on for generation to generation, Paul. He was a great man, and I know his soul will rest in peace. Wherever he is today, he's sitting there up there. If he's having in there telling them, guys, thank you for all the good job, and thank you for keeping the spirit alive.
Yeah. So Linford, let me share what you wanted to say. I think it's something from Joe Biden. It's tribute to Pele. Now let me share this.
And the reason why I wanted us to look at this is that not only ordinary people like us who love football, or ordinary, Joe Blows who shout when the game is going on, but world leaders. Joe Biden wrote this. He said before there was Messi, Ronaldo, Beckham, there was Pele. In 1958, he won his first World Cup for Brazil at 17 years old, very tender age. The youngest winner ever. He went on to win another 2 World Cups in 1968, 62, and 70, making him the only player in the world today with 3 World Cup trophies. For a sport that brings the world together like no other, Pele's rise from humble beginnings to soccer legend is a story of what is possible. Today, Jails and Martot are with his family and all those who loved him. So you see, Pele did not come from that elite background. And in fact, I think those days, elite people from the elite background would not want their children to even play around football. So Pele came from that slum community, a humble beginning, with no history in the past, and he made history. So I think it's worth giving him his flower. And this is such is the word that when you are alive, all these things, good things will not come to you until when you go. I would have loved for Pele to be here to read this kind of statement from Joe Biden, President of the United States. I know it would have revived his soul to his soul on his sick bed to some extent. But we like to say, rest in peace, Kim Pele, and there is always a place in our hearts for you. We'll all have to go one day, but while we stay behind, we'll always remember you, including other great people who have gone. Rest on.
Yeah, and by the way, I think we also heard recently that there's a football stadium being built in Brazil. It'll be named after him, called King Pele Stadium. He
Yeah.
be the king of football. So there are a lot of great things. Paul, I mean not Paul, Linford, when he was alive, he received a lot of these accommodations, a lot of the praises, a lot of the laurels. He was the guy who received a lot and a lot because he was not a guy who goes around showboating, bragging about his success. He was a guy, he loved the game. And these great things come out when you know more, and people know that wow, this guy, I didn't know about him in terms of how he played. And this guy can get 1,600 own personal collections, giving charity. I mean, the guy giving charity. He may have ups and downs. He had ups and downs. We saw that at some point after issues with Romario and stuff like that. They were like a rivalry, rivalry, having you couldn't match because I think Romario has argument about his goals, his score. He said Pele counted those goals. So beach football, he played those goals, his goals. So Pele counted that as goals of success. So this is why he had issue with Mario. But at some point in time, I mean, he was on his sick bed, and this guy gave, I mean, really prayed for him and wish him well. That was a really touching one. But
and one thing I would just like to add is, normally the lifespan, the life expectancy of men in the world throughout is between age 1 to 70. And there are normal people, some of them working in offices, they're not doing strenuous job, but football is not an easy thing. I play football before. I know it's very strong. You got to train hard, you got to run. And for Mele Pele, who played for those many years with all the hard work to live up to 82, I think that's another blessing.
Yeah. And on that note, I just want to say when he retired from Cosmo football team, and he retired at the age of 32, and over 70,000 people want to say farewell to him. And Pele spoke of three things: love, love, love. And he gave the mark over. He was a great person. Yeah. So, having said that, I think other footballers, like my president, who also played, he could learn, take something from Pele and change the story of Liberia. And maybe one of when he changed course, maybe we'll be heading for the World Cup one day. So, my to our audience, please share our show and take the like button. We're going to talk a little bit about something strange that happened from the city mayor of how they call it, Morovia, Jefferson Kochi. I guess the CDC is my opinion. I think some sort of infighting is going on within the CDC that they kind of confused now with people have been saying the whole entire CDC government, they are incompetent to run Liberia. So Jefferson Kochi, whether he came out of whether that strategy or something, he came out to throw this atomic bomb down that oh and the so I just want to play this and I want you guys view. So let our audience listen to Jefferson Kochi, who is now the city mayor of Monrovia, kind of backing ANC. In my word, backing ANC that they're contemplating to negotiate or talk to them. So I want you guys to listen to Jefferson Kochi. I want your thoughts.
We are contemplating on ANC. We want to bring them to the coalition.
ANC?
ANC.
I like that.
Yeah, because we think the ways to change this country is for all to come together with people who has what it takes to change this country.
Can I play?
We are contemplating on ANC. We want to bring them to the coalition.
ANC?
ANC.
I like that.
Yeah, because we think the ways to change this country is for all to come together with people who has what it takes to change this country.
He said contemplating, but I think it's so
He should be contemplating.
contemplating. That's what he
But
was.
we know Jefferson Kochi, so we
Yeah.
take him for what he is.
So guys, in my mind, my opinion, Jefferson Kochi here is sending a signal or code that the CDC have failed the people so badly, so they are contemplating or talking to ANC to join their coalition. So, in other words, their government is not good enough. Why can't they just resign and give the people who able to do the job that chance? And they recognize Mr. Cummings have that strength to turn Liberia to the next level. So that's how I see this. So I want you guys to dive into this Jefferson Kochi statement. I will start with you, Linford, and then we'll come to Jamal.
Okay. I'm surprised in the first place that Jefferson Kochi, of all persons, can say that they are contemplating instead of contemplating, meaning that they are thinking about talking to the ANC for collaboration. The CDC is already in a collaboration with several other parties, including the MPP, which is one of the biggest parties. We all know what the ANC/CPP, Mr. Cummings, have gone through at the hands of this particular government. This government had a prosecutor, the SG Solicitor General, in person of Serena Sifos, who presided over a bogus case against Mr. Cummings. As we speak, if that case had gone against Mr. Cummings, he might have been either in Belayala or in Serena Sifos' work somewhere in Bonkonima teaching the elementary children there, or serving as janitor, which was the sole aim. And there have been a lot of conspiring against Mr. Cummings, who is head of the CPP ANC. Now, recently when President Weah came from abroad, he made a lot of statements and he slinged mud at Mr. Cummings, calling him names. And for the Secretary General, who is the city mayor of Monrovia, to come after a fortnight of President Weah's comment to say that they are contemplating in talking with the ANC, that shows that politics in Liberia is so unique, is such that you cannot determine what's going to happen in the next 1 or 2 minutes. But the question that many people will be asking is, how did Jefferson Kochi or how did the CDC arrive at that decision? Because, and what prompted that? If I was at a press conference, I think that would have been a follow-up question to that statement by Kochi. How did they arrive at that statement? Mr. Cummings is supposed to have only 7% in the past elections. He's not relevant. He's nobody. This is coming from the CDC and even other opposition people, that Cummings is new. He has nobody. He's irrelevant. So how would you want to go in a collaboration with, as a ruling party now, not even an opposition, but a ruling party? Why would you want to go in collaboration with somebody who you defeated at a distant 5th place? So that would have been my question. So I don't know what have they seen? What prompted that? So let Jima come in. Probably Jima has something else to think about.
Yes. So, Jamal, what prompted that in your mind?
I think I'm not surprised. I think we in Liberia, we may be new to politics. We will be surprised if we follow politics around the world. You find the time when you think it's necessary to form correlation or collaboration, you go for it. One thing I want to let you guys know very well: Liberia does not belong to Jefferson Koji. It belongs to every one of us. And you feel that it's a need that we should come together, I mean, we should look into it. I think I will, if I'm part of ANC, if I have to make decision maker of ANC, I will listen to Jefferson Koji and his teammates. What do they have on the table? What are they talking about? This is not new in politics. I will take you back to Denmark about the Social Democrat Party, the government in control in Denmark. It has happened everywhere. They call it bipartisan bipartisan, some like coalition with the Labour Party in Denmark. So you go for the main opposition. The government had an issue. They couldn't stand good anymore. They were looking for some kind of power to stand strong and make the government a better government. They look for the better hand. The better hand is the Labour Party that was in Denmark. It happened all around Africa, other countries. So what Jefferson Kochi thinking is now, listen, we are falling short. We've seen the inadequacy of our resources. We don't have the skills. We want to build up our team. We could bring other people on board. This is what he's thinking. I think it's also Liberia. It's patriotic. It's nationalistic, and I think we should support the idea. But they think one thing we will always forget. We may miss the mark. The mark is we think, well, we need to take control. We must take control. What do they have in hand to share with us? What do they want to tell us that we should come on board? Why are they offering to ANC or the CPP? We should listen. We are already concluding that they have failed. They have failed. Those guys could, for the good of it. I think you're looking at the better side of Liberia right now. Let's face this country. It's going bad. If he intend to say we are not leaving, we're going to stay in there and do whatever we want to do, whatever the situation, they are in hand. They have the gavel right now. They have the government in power. They are the party in power. They can do anything to spoil the election tomorrow. You can't do anything about it. We will be afraid because we're all worried about war. We don't want to bring war into our country. So what I'm saying, if I were part of the decision maker of the ANC, I want to listen to the party. What are they thinking? If Jefferson Kochi is coming out to say we want to negotiate, we are contemplating to bring ANC on board, I will listen to them. What do they have to offer?
You
First and
will
foremost,
you will listen to them.
I will listen to them because it's not about Jefferson Koji, it's about Liberia.
It's
That's
about
just one
Liberia.
thing we should not miss because we all think like we should have the prescription. It's not even if if you go back to what Mr. Cummings has been saying, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings been saying we want a big tent. A big tent includes everybody. So definitely what we are saying here, if Jefferson Kochi, who being very, very, we notoriously bragging of, he's a very arrogant. He's one of those guys, man of those talk. He leading the talk group of the CDC. Today, he's calmly saying he want to bring an opposition on board. That must be something that has been coming on. There have been a lot of things being going on in the background that I can't fix anymore. So you come in, we won't fix this country. Let's bring a technician on board to fix this country. We shouldn't say that, oh yeah, let them give the country to us, we'll handle, let them get out. It's not, Liberia does not belong to ANC, it belongs to every one of us. So how
So,
can we fix it? So
so
I'm saying, yeah,
Jamal,
yes.
you're right. Liberia first, but well, just for the same group that Mr. Cummings have been giving.
It
Listen
doesn't
now,
matter.
listen,
It
listen.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but
It doesn't matter.
these are the very group that every time suggestion comes, they say, "Oh yeah, the man go sit down and go sell Coca-Cola."
Yeah, but they have realized that they failed, Paul. That's what we're saying right now. The guy is honestly telling you, you don't look. You should not come and say this is the guy who come to you say, look, my man, I'm sorry. What we have done in the diplomatic faction, we don't know what we are doing. Help us. So what you want to tell? You want to torture him again? Tell them, okay, yeah, and it's about the country. It's not about him. It's about
No, but
Liberia.
yes, so if you feel and you know you want to talk, so I mean, you said it that a group for people to listen, which I must say I agree with. Yeah, then listen, but they feel so miserably. Then they must do the argument thing. They must do the best thing now to say, well, since we fail, we got the technocrats over there that can do it. Maybe the technocrats can now take over from us. So
No,
maybe that is the why not?
No, but because the fact of the matter, they may also have some things that we don't have at ANC. We can combine it and make a good government. This is why you should know. It couldn't be ANC. Listen to what Mr. Kumi said.
No, but
Liberia,
you can leave the ANC in a collaboration, which is a CPP.
you can also ANC. They also told us that ANC is opening their doors for other people to join. So if they want to join the CPP collaboration, CDC want to join the CPP collaboration, let them join. This is Liberia. It's not.
No, they are saying the CPP should go join them.
No, whatever the case be, that's why I'm saying. Let's listen. We are just not jumping to the gun.
Let me jump in quick, Jima.
Okay.
You know, Frita man, I got a lot of Serena friends. Frita man get parable. He say, rotting body belong Jesus.
Thank you.
You understand? Yeah, rotting body belong Jesus. When you are young, your body is good. You think you for yourself. You do all the things. But when you get sick, now you're rotting. Then you say, hey, let me go to Jesus to repair me.
Yeah, but you don't listen here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with your parable. What I was saying here, are we looking at Jeffrey Koji or are you looking at Liberia to fix it?
I'm looking at the CDC.
No, what about Liberia?
As a ruling party.
No, but you have not listened to what they have to offer.
Liberia will always be there.
Exactly.
Liberia will always be there.
Mm-hmm.
But people will come to fix it or to damage it. So forget about Liberia. Like nobody. CDC go there. Listen to me.
You're making a mistake.
CDC is not taking Liberia with her when they get out.
No, what I'm saying, you also should know that CDC got people that also can help to fix. If you form a team, right?
Yeah, but you want to let me learn.
Go on.
I will tell you one thing. That the CDC does not mean well in what they're trying to say. They're looking for a way to see if they can get their strongest opponent out of the way, infiltrate, say, come and be with us, and what guarantee do you have? When CDC signed agreement with the MPP, which was one of the MPP had ruled Liberia before. And what did they do? MPP holds the vice presidential post in our government.
See,
they marginalize the MPP to the point where even the MPP itself is divided against itself because of that marginalization. Okay? Now, all of the positions they promised the MPP, they did not give it. So the few positions they gave, the vice president to utilize it, putting in or close proximity, and then the rest of the MPP people became frustrated. This is why you have the problem in the MPP today. So bring ANC that had never even become senator and say, okay, come and be with us. When you go there, you vote, they win, and they begin to marginalize you. What will you do? What can you do? You gotta go for 6 years.
I'll go the other way. I'll the flip side of the coin. What you are just saying right now, you have not. I said to you at the start of my point for what I'm looking at. Let's listen to Jefferson Koji. There are more than what he's saying. Right? If Jefferson Koji, who is very arrogant, come here swiftly saying in a very dignified fashion, looks like that he won the coalition, he want to bring this guy on the coalition. What have they been talking in the background? Let's listen to them. I said Liberia for a second to that. You also know, like, let's look at the other side of it. Consider they said to you, listen, George Weah is not running anymore. Listen to what I'm saying. George Weah will not run anymore. Let's give you. I was saying an example what happened in Denmark. The ruling government came to form a coalition with the opposition, which is the Labour Party. And they made the Labour Party, which is the opposition party, head the prime minister. So, and the thing Mr. Comey has been fighting for, which is not compromising, is the top position. Consider they gave Mr. Comey the job to say, Mr. Comey, we make you the next mayor, but the second person should come from CDC.
Okay.
Yeah,
are you also considering?
Let me learn. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying that consider because ANC CPP has not come up with any vice presidential bid yet. No, I've not put any name up here. We want you to give us the position. We will retire. He's not going to forward anymore. He's not moving forward anymore. But this is a list of people on CDC. We got some competent people on CDC who want to be formed to put part of the CPP. But let Mr. Comey go as the president. The vice president should come from CDC. What do you think? What about that? What is it? What is that not a good deal?
So can I come in now?
Go on.
Okay. Yeah. That your proposition
sounds a good proposition. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. But let me.
This is what I'm saying. Listen.
Yeah, but wait, no. I say it sounds good, but let me come in. Let me debunk it. Now, I'll give you some very salient points to listen to. The CDC is a party. it got partisans, it got voters. Now, the voters may not like Mr. Cummings. Any decision the party may take, the voters, it can sway the voters away. The voters can say, okay, you bring Cummings that we are being against all along, you bring Cummings, we will not vote for you. Your party can endorse Cummings, you can give the presidency position to Cummings, but we are going to vote for UP.
Give Paul a chance to talk. You sound like someone in Africa. This is a party run by George Weah people. You tell the people, my people will follow these guys. That's it. That's
my friend. George Weah does not control the ballot box.
That's how CDC wrong. You know how CDC wrong. We know how CDC wrong. Jarvis Kuji will say today. Look at what he said today. Nobody has come out and debunk what he said. That he wants
to bring. Can Mr. Cummings determine what I do at the ballot box? Let's say if Mr. Cummings will say, okay,
in the West, you say in
the West. Hold on. If Mr. Cummings will say, okay, I'm going to join the CDC now, I'm taking CPP to the CDC, I can say no.
No. The party of CDC and ANC are two different parties. That's what I'm trying to say to you. What you're looking at, CDC is being run by some group of people, and they just said, guys, we're going to the direction, everybody follow. Koji sat down today and said today, we want the direction to go, everybody follow. It's not ANC.
But it's not like what you're thinking. That's what I'm trying to say. Possibilities.
It is.
What mechanism do you have to measure that?
So guys,
you see, but Paul, before you come in, you see the statement he made was not even his statement. It should be made by the chairman of the party. Now, if Koji, come in, Paul, I'll give you a chance. If Koji can come and say, look, we want to bring ANC on board, right? Now, something may have been going on. He said he's one of those guys that decides for ANC, for CDC.
Yeah, he's the Secretary General.
So, not only that, he's powerful. Apart from being secretary, he's very powerful compared to ANC. How many times you see Aloysius Stowe making statement of such for ANC? When? You don't see it. Talking about the but you see kind of party we're talking about. What we are saying here, Paul, is like, what we need to say, I want to say here, Paul, is like, let's see what CDC has to offer. That's my point.
Yeah, so that's what I asked. I said earlier, is that they're using this as propaganda, or because he said he's one of the key persons in the party that that entire party is contemplating it's something that maybe it's a slip of tongue at that interview, or he just put his bonfire out there to get people to run with the thing to divert what is happening with their bad governance for them to be talking about. Because remember some time ago when George Weah came from America, he said, oh, Liberia, he told the people in the state that Monrovia, Lola, Miami, because when things not going well, they divert to something else to get people talking. So this guy who they keep saying he must go sell Coca-Cola, out of the blue, he threw a bombshell. Is that a political strategy they're using now, or he just put something out there to get people to talk about it, to take the attention?
I want to ask one question to the both of you.
Go on.
The very idea that the CDC wants to go in a collaboration, thinking about going into a collaboration with ANC, is it a good idea? Generally, is it a good idea? Yes or no? Yeah. I want no explanation.
No, but we are not in a courtroom. I can't answer that kind of question.
No, let me answer that question.
We need to explain. You can't just say yes or no. You're not running a courtroom affairs here. The problem
okay, answer yes or no and then explain.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Right. I would say yes, because George Weah have failed miserably. So Mr. Cummings, look,
very good.
Let me back my point. Why I say yes, because I told you the first and foremost, we are preempting here. We need to give them the chance to explain to you why they want coalition. The guy saying in follow-up statement, he said we want to take the right people to do the right job.
Thank you.
So what are they offering? They know very well that Mr. Cummings will not compromise his position as head of the leadership. They know that. You're not even looking into that. You just say it's not a good idea.
Okay.
Come in. Listen. That's what I keep saying. If we keep saying, CDC fell, and Liberia is going back, should we continue to fail? No, Liberia belongs to every one of us. They are saying we are failing. We want to leave. Come and help us. Can we form a coalition and help this country to go? You're not saying it. They said no. Don't stay. Don't help.
Okay, let me ask another more question.
You okay with that?
I'm not okay with it, but I'll take your view. But let me ask you this question. In the wake of the dismal failure of this government, and then you want to bring a good party, the CPP that has planned, don't you think the rest of the voters. Now remember that CDC voters are not the only people in Liberia. The rest of the other people who are undecided and may want to vote for ANC say, oh, the government are fair, the government that is on blacklist for stealing. The international community have blacklisted this government. In fact, even some of their officials and the CDC that said that they cannot do something. I mean, the ANC that said they cannot bring new way of drinking. They go through it. See how Mr. Cummings is suffering with even setting up the team Cummings with people like Louis Brown on board. Then you want to go to a church where government, you think it's a good idea? I would say no.
You're asking the question, you sound like you're not in politics. We all are competing, or we are common competitors. I come against you until the last day. I'll be saying the worst thing about you. That's why you should know. We're the game of politics. I will say the worst thing about you until I get at you. But if I know that I can't get at you, I will turn the other cheek. That's what's happening. The fact of the matter here is they know very well that the issue of ANC has, why they're not still talking about UP? Why they're not talking about other ALP? Why are you talking about these other parties that there? The other Liberal Action, UPP. They got LAP. They say ANC. They had the right technicians, the right resources, and they know. I want to repeat it. They know what Mr. Cummings stands for. They know that he's a man. Look what happened to him.
But can I tell you something? This is no. We got very big difference on this thing. You're not understanding me. Take CPP to CDC today. I personally will withdraw my support for the CPP.
You are an individual. That doesn't matter.
But I'm an individual, but so many other people do.
But Liberia will survive. We want Liberia to slave on. It's not about you. It's about Liberia.
We want Liberia to live on, but how does Liberia live on?
Togetherness. We should work together. Once you realize your mistake, we should work together and face that country. It's not like because you're not happy with me. If I've been bad, if I perform badly, and I perform badly, I come to you, I'm sorry. I want for all to work together. You will take the lead, bring in the technicians that do the job. Will you turn your back?
Let the CDC Syria, let them withdraw from the race and let our members go to other parties.
Okay, let me come in here. Right, Mr. Cummings keep talking about this big thing. Even people within the CDC will work in his government if he gave him the opportunity to serve. So a CDC now realized that, wait a minute, we came on a jelly basis and we know we cannot run the thing. So Mr. Cummings, we're begging you, come in and help us. Take control because George will not be able to go for the second term. Whether something that the CPP will consider?
Of course they will. Definitely. But this is why Linfo is not getting. Linfo is thinking like they should step aside. This is not, it shouldn't work like in politics. We are saying to you that whatever they're offering, these are propositions you could offer.
Yeah, but you see, I am looking at that history. I am looking at you got people who are thieves, clear thieves.
Yeah, but until they bring the code of justice, you can't just say that thieves.
So why are we frowning on them? Why do we say that they are thieves?
We all alleging here until they can be proven in the code of competent jurisdiction. These people, they said they're going to put up economic crime code to investigate. Mr. Comey said, "I'm not going after individual. I'm going after the system. People who commit the crime." He said, "I'm not after individuals." The follow this thing.
Jima, you're not looking deeper.
But that's why you see it. That's why you see my way. Look at it.
Yeah, you're not looking deeper. Because we are number one. The first thing, this particular CDC government is replete. It's replete with thieves. It's replete with people who are corrupt.
We'll give a chance. A system that we will investigate them. But in the meantime,
okay. So if you go into a collaboration with our church, we are who are built for the non-condominiums. Okay, over 3 months period. And broke down his old house and refurbished it. He got Jamaica resort. He got all these things around, and you can see traces of corruption behind him. And then you go into a collaboration. What will you do to him at the end of the day?
Let me come in here, Jamal. Let me come in.
Go on.
Yeah. Mr. Cummings said everyone is welcome in his camp, but when you found guilty of something bad you did, you will pay the price. That means you will go to jail. They will seize your property because that's why he keeps saying there will be war and economic crime code. For those who stole from the country, you can join me, but when the law catch you, you'll pay the price. So a judge will realize that.
So who's going to be the law? It's the ruling government that will be the law. So in the
no. That's how we have three
Yeah, but
Stop this thing, Leif.
so if the ruling government at that time, or if the government decide not to set up a war crime school, what will you do? If Mr. Cummings' government decide not to set up a war crime school, looking at the marriage that he will enter, what will you do?
No, he
Yeah, but
already
that would
made
be
a commitment to the Liberians, so he
listen,
cannot.
Paul, can I say something? That would be the
Yes,
decision of the day. It's the government that can come out with decision. Listen, it's Ellen was there for 12 years. She should have set up a tribunal. What do you call him? After the trial. What is his name, Paul? What was it? The TRC stuff. She
TLC,
had
yeah.
the power to set up to try these people. She didn't do it. She played around it. Georgia has gone the first term. He's not setting up. It's up to Mr. George. We're all clamoring for it that we should set up an economic and war crime code. If Mr. Cummings consider Liberia, we the Liberian did not agree that we should set an economic crime code. It has been our issue. We've been fighting over it for over years. So I don't agree that you should set it up. In Liberia, you can put it. For me, if I was Mr. Cummings, when I got the power, you know what I would do? I'll make a referendum.
Yeah, so why he doesn't do it? That's the thing I'm
You
saying.
come here asking you a question, yeah? What will I do? I'll come a referendum. Some of the issue Liberians are divided by the war crime economic code. Yeah, I'll put something. What do we do? Librarians should decide. What do we agree that we judge people that steal our money and people that committed the crime, kill people during the war for no reason? Can we put a code together? A librarian say yes, we'll go for it. It's not my decision. So whatever, before I go into marriage, that will be the decision of Liberians. So that's how we should do it. Now that Mr. Kobe and the team will decide that we want to judge everybody, we all are alleging that George will build those buildings. Of course, he wouldn't have the money, but then with he can't be taken away from him. He has to be properly investigated. How did he get this stuff? You said traces of corruption. You just alleging.
Yeah, but remember that it has to be done out of choice. The government of the day might say, "Well, let's just let him go."
No. That you go by the platform. You're running with it. He's saying that he will bring it out. It's not about choice. It's one of his points he's raised.
All the other government that we have been having access similar things and did not live up to their commitments.
If I were Mr. Comey, I say I'll make a referendum in the country that we should go work an economic crime code. Should we put it into place? If the country decisions say yes, there we go. I got no choice.
What if he doesn't do it? That is the thing.
This is up to him. It's a precedent. We are just up to him, but because it'll come from the marriage. If you look at the way it carries, Paul. Linfo. If the way it carries that it make Liberia better, and we can move on, without economic crime being put at bay, fine. Let's so it be.
So, but Linfa, look at it this way. There are rumors been circulating for a while now.
Linfa can't stand it anymore. He doesn't have
this rumor that have been circulating that some people say that we may not even go for the second term. And now Jefferson Kochi come out and put a bombshell like this. It's a sort of rumor that because they said,
Paul, you can see it, Paul. This is what I'm saying to you. This is something we should be far-sighted here, Paul. Forget about Linfa. Linfa looking at the point like, look, one thing we need to be Paul, when I was in Liberia, we missed our opportunity. One thing we need to do I have to be this. You see the problem with all African coalitions and collaborations, everybody want a top job. Yeah. At some point we will miss the mark. And so we're going for one objective to get something done. We think that I should lead. When we think that the country come first, if we got all we kick Liberia first, if that has been the case and if come from our heart, I can tell you, Paul, we will work fine. But the thing is, I must be the head. That's the problem. Jefferson Koji has come out to say look at Jefferson Koji at all person, man, coming out to say we want ANC to be. So there are a lot of stuff being going in the background. You and myself don't know about. So the first thing any sound man will do, let's talk. What you got to offer? Yeah, what do you have to offer? If I was the ANC, I would sit with them. I said, I'll bring it. I'll say, what do you have to offer? Let me hear what you say. Liberia, it's all about Liberia. All those things are past the politics. I can insult your mind, insult your power in politics. And that's why I say a day in politics is years. We sit and discuss. What do you have to offer for Liberia? Then I take it to my people. We decide what can we do.
The next group that will kind of the ALP, because they had a convention today. So ALP, my countrymen are coming and say, well,
don't make mockery of our case.
The thing here is let's listen to our viewers here too. Jamal, look at this. I think someone has a question from you from Shadilia. This is something that you put forward. What Jamal is saying, Linfa. I think
that CTV can learn something from what could you say from CDC. Oh yes, definitely yes.
Right. So now, as we keep going into this, you see that or not? If you say so.
It can't be a setup. For you know why? Because ANC is not stupid. They know what they want. Listen, their technician ANC team and CPP team, they know what they really want. Because if you sit with those people, they are negotiators, they are technicians, they are managers, they are politicians. They know what they want, Paul.
Yeah,
People are
and yeah,
coaches. Look, listen, Paul. Yeah, I'm not connected. I mean, I respect your views, Orita, but the fact of the matter, yeah, we should be out of we should come out of this emotional zone and be honest to ourselves with Liberia in general. That's my point here. Liberia is the point here. Let's listen to what a CDC is offering. You cannot
I am
be an
telling you,
island.
Shima, that Liberia has been there for JJ Rawatan. JJ Rawatan, he went. All the other presidents, they went. Joshua is there now. Joshua will go. The other president will come. I am telling you that in the interest of Liberia, we cannot make a hasty decision that will make you slip by the wayside.
Did I say that? I said we should listen to that. Did I say that?
Okay. Jamal, Rita disagree with you.
Fine. That's why I like. That's why I make it. That's the beauty of democracy.
Okay, this getting interesting.
I mean,
you see, the thing here is, listen, ANC and CPP would not work with CDC, and they said they should. That something is like ANC, CPP will say we will take the lead. Trust me, and they gave the lead.
Let me just remind you, Chima, the footprints of collaborations, by collaboration, is still on the ground that CPP can point to. Few months ago,
it's common in Africa. It's not new. It's everywhere.
From January to July or to June, there were 6 months of court case against Mr. Cummings in a collaboration.
Yes.
The country people say, well, you got bitten by snake before. When you pass and you see black piece of stay later, you would think that snake will be scary. And yeah, and Charles Taylor said, and I quote,
I agree.
There is no medicine for fear except fear itself. And so if you are afraid, the only thing, if you fear anything, the only thing we can tell you is to either retreat or stay. So looking at all of what has happened, you think the ANC, Mr. Cummings, will just go into a collaboration with people, especially the major opposition, that the major group that he's opposition to?
Of course. But why you keep saying this, Linford? Have you that this is the first of a kind in the world? It happens everywhere in politics, everywhere.
Yeah, but you got to look at the history. You got to go into history.
Listen, what are you talking about? Let's look at Senegal. Did you follow African politics a lot? There's Macky Sall today that in the leadership. Yeah, he fought a couple of oppositions. He was in collaborations. We should know the difference between coalition and collaborations, though. So he was in coalitions. They Macky Sall against Abu White in Senegal, right? At some point, some of them got pulled out. Let's talk about what's happening in probably people may say not connecting. That's what happened in Israel. What brought back this guy Benjamin Netanyahu back to power? He aligned with the most right wing of the Jewish party in that country because he won't come to power. There are a lot of things happening. That's politics, guys. We should understand that. Like, listen,
my final take on this one. You see, there could be a setup like Merula Mose, a dangerous decision, in fact, in a setup, because the thing. No, those guys, they got a war room. They got where they make their decisions. No, gentlemen, we see the UP does not stand a chance. Give me a chance. I mean, we all just give our view. See, Unity Party does not stand a chance. They got bad record already. Liberian people cannot trust them easily. At least if they will make a comeback, it got to be after 2-3 elections before UP can come back. UP footprint stay on the ground. We know. Now, we made bad mistakes. Now, the Liberian people got a decision now, or they are trying to decide between we, Unity Party, and the ANC. But as we look at it, looking at our own record and looking at the Unity Party record, ANC now stands more chance. So since they are the strongest opposition now, what we do? We go in their camp, behave like we are friendly with them. Have you heard about the Trojan horse?
You know, you're talking like a little boy right now.
No, yeah, I may be
No,
being a
no,
little
no, no,
boy.
no, no. Look, listen. You said something to me today, like
Mm.
you said today, Mister, he's been beaten before. You know, after Mr. Cumming, after they came back, even with the Musa Bayete team, the Labour Party, they went, they did another print document. They fine tune it and make it a little better. You guys, you know, this is Mr. Cumming and the team, they are all very well a battle potent right now. The few time being a corporate, the few months you spend in court, you spend in Liberia, he has learned a lot. You know, if you've spoken to Mr. Comey, if you have sat with him, you know that a man who does just make decisions like that. You know that very well. And I also tell you, you think Mr. Comey will get into that talk without taking the major lead? Will he be the second person in command in that country if you have to take over? You
Right.
answer my question.
So
This is not what I'm saying.
Yeah, this
See,
is
you
the
didn't let me
point.
learn. What the point I'm trying to make here? No, it's what you say. CDC come today and say, Mr. Comey, when you will be the president, will you be behind you? But you are going into a collaboration with them. Ali that minutes.
But will
October is
they not
election.
make will
Last
that come
September,
some?
October, some confusion break up in a collaboration. You'll be up and down, up and
But
down,
there'll
up
be
and down.
paperwork. Come on, man. There will be some prima document to this. They'll get some document. They're going to say about
the
verbal
framework
paper.
document. Did you listen to the Supreme Court? The framework document does not supersede the Constitution of Liberia. No
Yeah, but,
agreement after the Constitution supersedes.
yeah, but that's why they will
so
learn. This recent thing that happened with Mr. Comey in court, he learned a lot. So he won't go to any agreement without knowing. The guy is so fast started.
No, Marilla Moore, this is not a caller. This is a host on the program. Tell us. We three of us are hosting. So he's just getting and this is what makes the show special. We all can have different opinions at times. So he's not a caller.
Who's that? You calling me a caller?
So, guys,
who's a caller? They calling me a caller?
Yeah, they say, where is the caller from?
Tell I'm from Manchester. I'm living in Manchester.
And this guy, well, so guys, let me put this in. The NPP.
No, Paul.
Wait, let me. I want to put this. I want to link this. All right,
you go there, Paul. You go there. Sorry, you go there. But let me say this point. In Akweji comment, for me, there is no one substance I see where he said, we think that it is about time that people who have what it takes to change this country. So he's admitting that it's ANC, CPP that got what it takes to change this country. I thought that was what we're going to be discussing instead of talking about going to a collaboration with people who have failed. My friend, let me tell you, no, you can't think that you're going to fill a bucket with a net by drawing water in the net to fill a bucket.
So what are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm saying that the ANC cannot go into a collaboration with the CDC as a party. If the CDC is going well with that role,
that's a serious mistake.
So, but this thing you're linked for, I'm trying to link with Jamal here.
You see, I'm very
well, listen, let me make my point.
I got you on board, Pa. You make sense. You're a politician. I mean, you're a fast thinker. That's what we're talking about.
Mr. Cummings is building a big tank. And this tank, he's going to be the head of this tank. And now, what Jefferson calls say, look, we work in this environment, but we're not moving the country forward. But we see ANC that have the technical know-how to take this country to another level. So Mr. Weir is now hinting, look, guys, I can't make it. Yeah, bring somebody else in. So yeah, join collaboration with these people so they can take this country to another level.
You think they're going to give it to you on silver platter?
That's why it's called negotiation and collaboration.
But what is negotiation about?
Yeah, they'll go into a negotiation, right?
You see why? Why is it?
I ask you, read that literature about the Trojan horse. There's a lot.
Yeah,
they gave you that good, beautiful case.
The interpretation.
What's that?
My brother, you are interpreting different. I can interpret different. That Trojan horse you talk about, I can interpret different. What I want to let you know, why I say that they know very well. Everybody knows that ANC, the collaboration with the CPP, first CPP collaboration broke apart because of who to lead that coalition. So they know very well nothing will discuss. CPP, Mr. Comey will not discuss anything without taking the lead. You know that. You know that very well. So the question is, let's agree that Liberia belongs to every one of us. It does not belong to Jefferson Koji. It does not belong to Mr. Comey. If we have to come together,
let me see if I can place
Mr. Comey, Mr. Comey, listen to me. Mr. Comey, listen. Mr. Comey said big time. You guys should not sound like the CDC at the first year. Like when your CDC must be a CDC before it got a job in Liberia, or you got to get a choice to talk to anybody in CDC. We're talking about, Mr. Comey told us we want a Big Ten. Why can't we include everybody? Let's consider that they gave Mr. Comey the chance to run the country. We include everybody on board. Will we refuse that and say, okay, get out, we want to run the country, you don't have to be part of it? Will you take that, Linford? Tell me. That would be selfish. I'm for Jefferson Koji. We need to sit with ANC and discuss. We want to put Liberia first. Let's put Liberia first.
I agree. We can put Liberia first. But my problem here is we just came from another collaboration that was rocky.
We will learn. It's a lesson for we learn from there. We'll learn.
So wouldn't we take time? Let me tell you, if you just come from marriage or broken marriage, and the very minute you come from a broken marriage, you go or you walk in the street, you see another beautiful woman, she say, "Oh, I like you," then you jump inside.
No. Before that, no. I got my checklist. Before I see that beautiful woman, I got my checklist. Before I marry you, I will check. This one is okay, yeah. This one, before I get married, I can't just go to, I got frustrated, I got a broken heart. I want to get remarried, I just got broken heart. Is that how it works? You know, Mr. Cummings, that he won't do that. CBP won't do that. Musa Bede won't do that. The other people, ANC, won't do that. So it's not something like you just walk into. Look, those guys, let me be honest to you. CDC is falling apart. It's not holding anymore. They're looking for something to hold on to. They want ANC to help them to lead that country. So they don't want to just be out of that whole game like that easy. It's at the point that, look, my brother, don't let us die an easy death. We won't be part of the process. Give us something to live our life easy before people come after us.
So are we going in to protect them simply because we want to rule?
No, we don't say that. We are saying that we will come up, we will put out a system where we will be judged. If you corrupt, if you stole Liberian poor money, you'll go to court. If you commit a crime, you'll go to court, but you will face the judge.
How difficult is it for we have to step aside and let the CDC?
It is difficult.
Instead of entering in a collaboration,
show me an African leader that resigned if they're not being defeated at the polls. Show me one. This I'm tired. I want to go now. Go give me joy. I'll just take the government. Show me one in Africa. Show me one.
Okay, so that
Show me one.
You comfortably go into a collaboration with.
You're not asking the question. Show me one African leader that.
Guys.
Yes.
Guys.
Paul, 1 second. Let me show me one African leader that after retire, let's say, honorably say, I'm retired today, I'm tired of the leadership. Show me one.
There is none.
Okay.
So then I ask you the question. So are you willing to go comfortably in a relationship or collaboration with people that will not even step aside? They want to hold on to power, but they want to use you as a means of maintaining that power. Because I know CDC is not going to go take everything.
What thing you don't understand? Can they go into collaboration with us sitting down to discuss the details? How does it work?
Details will not. You're not understanding the point. At the end of the day, you go into a collaboration with these guys, and the Constitution of Liberia says no other agreements.
You telling me right? Are you telling me?
October will be election. September, then they got bring us something. They say no. They will not agree on it. We agree on it when it will not let it.
So are you?
Will you come back as an ANC to start regrouping?
So are you saying that?
Are you not looking at the danger?
No, it's sounding something that I want to take you back to. Are you saying that right now the collaboration ANC with Liberty Party is not something they can hold on to?
No, we've been there for a while.
No. You say you cannot hold. So you're saying that you can anything Musa Bede can misbehave anytime, everything can spoil. Then we'll go back to zero. That's what you're sounding like.
No, we'll not go back to zero.
Oh, but why are you saying that? The city can happy with CDC and ANC.
Because the first thing you should know that ANC, Liberty Party and ANC are not loggerhead. They're not at each other's truth. Musa Bede can decide to withdraw today. ANC was still staying. But where we're looking at technicalities, okay? Now, I don't know, but
guys,
and just being
let me come in. Let's look at this thing the other way. Mr. Weir is tired, guys. Let's get ANC.
Presumably,
yes. Let's get ANC, and they go into this.
Oh, when you finish, I want to answer Orita question, please.
Yeah. So we go into the negotiator though. ANC, sorry guys, I'm tired. I don't want to be in Liberia anymore. I want to leave way out. So we want you to step in to take over this country and give me pathway to leave this country for all the crimes that are committed. In negotiation, anything can happen. They want to run away. But how do we run away? And we don't want to be caught in a
Yeah, that's
way.
why I asked, are we going in to protect the criminals?
Well, so this is where the negotiation become very interesting. No, we're not going to accept this. We're going to accept this one. We're not going to accept this. Your 49 million will turn out, will put people in it from West Point. So negotiation happens so many ways that we want to leave, but we want to leave on a very good note. We want to leave. We're tired. We can't make it. We want to leave.
Granted, but we want to live dignified in a dignified
Exactly.
fashion.
So yeah, you
this
want
is
to leave, but we want to bring the war and economic crime code. So if you are caught, so now they're stuck. So let's look at. I mean, I agree with Jamal when he said, let's listen to what they got to say.
that's what I said.
You're not going
We
straight
we
into
we we
negotiation. You're listening.
Paul, we are a little bit emotional about this, and when you talk about position, the man, we are saying here, debating this one. Of course, we see daylight robbery, but then we in the country of laws. We make sure that we put, make sure that those who steal, yeah, they face the full weight of the law, right? You can't say, oh yeah, I see you beating because you're going to arrest and put in jail. It doesn't work like that in the country of law. It doesn't. Paul, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, it doesn't work in the country of law where you say, oh yeah, we saw Jefferson Kuji beating a marshal on 9th Street, so we should arrest him. You got to prove on that? It doesn't work.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not heading.
Let's meet those people and sit with them and talk to them. What do they have?
Every one of us here are Liberians. We know how Liberia operates. We don't need any rocket science.
So I want you guys to respond to this.
Yeah, go.
What the incentives for CPP and communists going to negotiate? Good. The incentive say it's about Liberia, guys. It's about, that's the point I keep saying to them. Let's listen to them. Because if we all talk about Liberia being beyond every one of us, yeah, Liberia is a country beyond everyone else. Let's sit down and discuss. We shouldn't be in the attitude, in the behavior of like we can't speak to other people. That's just not how we are as Liberia. Let's listen to one another. Yeah, in a very grown-up way. We can agree to disagree, guys. CDC may be the worst of all, but it can't say they're Liberians. What do they have to offer?
Moretta Mole said here, do not believe that all Liberians belong to all Liberians.
Yeah, some people may think that way, but that's not the point. Let's put into a manner, that's the lack of patriotism. This kind of patriotism is not in a man's Liberian. This is why when CDC was in power, they begin to realize at this time that this is not how things can run, Paul.
Yeah.
They'll believe that if you're not seditious, you can't get a job. They believe not seditious, they can't listen to you. Now they believe that it doesn't work like when Mr. Kumi came with the idea, the big tent. That's because Liberia inclusivity, Paul. That's what we're talking about. Liberia belongs to every one of us.
Okay. And then she said this thing with Jefferson Kochi, if this happens, it's a kind of death trap that is setting for.
No, they are not. They are not. Like you said something right now, yeah? Yeah. I'm saying to you, they're finding a dignified way to just take it easy and get out of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll answer the sister question. The issue, what are they telling us? Look, we are tired, but we can't just pack our bag and run. Yeah. Come and help. Let's face this thing. People, if you just made the analysis of the other parties, you are not being empowered. You got a record, you got a connection, you got a network, you got expertise. You can negotiate. You think Mr. Comey and other people going to negotiation just like that, just walk into it. Then where's Jefferson Kuji? There's nobody within the CDC that can negotiate better than its ANC. I'm telling you, Paul.
Yeah. So, Linford, at least somebody agree with you here, Linford.
Yeah, but Paul, go back to Orita point. I want to answer that question if you mind, please. Jamal, are you telling us you believe stakeholders with ANC approach ANC with? Of course they are. Because it's up to us as a negotiator to dig into there, deep to see what their intentions are. That makes you a sound person. You say what the person, a psychologist will be involved. People will be involved to read their minds. What are they intending to do? We need to listen to them. That's what I keep saying. We need to listen to the Liberians. We want to build a big tent. Let's listen to each other. This is about Liberia, guys. This is what broke the first collaboration. Greater people were there before. They didn't listen to each other. Mr. Kobe wanted got a good intention. Other people agreed it. Mr. Kobe, he has learned a lot from this past something that haunted him. He will learn. You're not going to sit down and just, okay, guys, let's go into a negotiation. I'm fine with it. Let's move. It doesn't work like that. If you want to build a big tent, listen to other Liberians.
So building the big tent, I mean, with the Jefferson coaches, something I know other networks have been running with it as propaganda. So Linford, there's something Asiva wrote here. I want you to look at it and talk to me whether it's the same in line with what Jamal is saying here, or you have your own view.
Was that okay?
Okay, as Vatupa wrote here, he says, so the writers, reporters for Spoon and Sean don't listen, or they are more into propaganda than substance. Listen to what Jefferson Koji said. The CDC is contemplating that I'm picking, so I will help him on bringing the ANC to a coalition, because the ways to change this country is for us to come together with people who have what it takes to change the country. His second point was that first approach is to bring the ANC to the coalition for democratic change. And then but I can see the other two things.
Okay, that one not sure.
Yeah,
So
but let me tell you. I used one parable from Sierra Leone before. This is the second one. There is something Sierra Leone called kakakulo. That one little bug, it can be flying when the chicken touch it, die, later it not die. Chicken, stupid chicken will swallow it. By the time swallow, when it reach the truth, then it stand up. It open all its legs, the arm, then see a chicken do that. It can't from it can't swallow it. Kakakulo. So the people are. You said this is politics. We can be at each other's truth, but these people, they are not opposition. The CDC is not opposition. The CDC is ruling government. You want to move them. Like I'm in my house with my wife and children, then you want to come take me out from my wife and children. I enjoy all the benefits. Okay? But wait, tutor, when I see you too strong, I say, wait, you really mess me outside looking strong today. I'll keep all my knife there, my sharp knife, I'll pull it under the mattress. Then I'll tell you, I say, okay, my man, I can't take what my home. By then I can't eat. I'll take a knife now and start to choking. Or I get my gun. When you can't, I stick on here and say, stick up, do not move. Okay? So at that point, he will be helpless. So what I'm saying here, you go into any collaboration, CDC will come, either ruling party, either if they were opposition, I say we are all in the same class. Nobody stand the risk of losing anything. But they stand high risk of losing something. Not ANC, not CD, not UP. We are all oppositions. So they know that you are the strongest. They already admitted that it takes what you have to change your country. But they don't have it. But they are holding on to the country now. They control everything. So they will come to you and say, okay, you know what happened? Just to get you out of the way. They say, you know what happened? Yeah, we think you can do it. You can make it. So come, let me peace. Then my Trojan horse and parable comes in. And can let me peace. You'll make that peace. Of course, we're going to sign document. We're going to sign paper. Okay? At the last minute, in September, October is elections. In September, something come out. Knowing the CDC, then something come out. They are the ruling government. You can't go to court against them. You can't do anything against them. They say, oh, we didn't agree on the pilot. Then all your hope were on there. A lot of times will be focusing on fighting law or court suit, or lawsuit or something else. And if you get one more away from election, what time will you have to regroup? It's good that the old confusion happened, the old CPP months back, and Mr. Cummings was able to regroup and even still have the Liberty Party on board. But if something like this happens in September, August of the new year coming, what time will you have to regroup?
So what I will say here, look, guys, the CDC-led government.
Paul, one question before you go, please. One question to Linford, please.
Okay, go on.
Linford, is this the first of its kind, a ruling government party asking for opposition to form a coalition? Is that the first of its kind? The question I'm asking.
It's not the first of its kind, but
they said the first of its kind.
Nothing is constant.
Oh, come on. You're asking me yes and no today. Is it the first of its kind for a ruling government to ask?
I said it's not the first time.
It's not. So why are you apprehensive?
Because I'm apprehensive because reading the political terrain that we are treading in. This is not friendly. It's not a friendly political terrain.
So guys, we're going to transition a little bit.
Go on,
Yeah,
Paul.
let's go.
The CDC-led government, the third person, the Secretary General of the party, I mean, made it clear that the CDC government, they're not good enough. They don't know what they're doing. So election is just around the corner. So they're telling us like, look, you vote us out. So that's what they're saying. They're not
Paul.
good
Yeah.
enough.
Paul.
See,
Paul.
and my point is, let them step
Lord
aside
Paul Chilople.
and give us a chance.
Yes.
But Lord
They
Chilople.
should not call for coalition. We should be the one to decide.
Liberia,
See, no, let me tell you,
one
let
party
me tell
can
you,
run
the
Liberia,
CDC,
Paul.
they are playing smart here. They want to drag on into something like coalition. They
Oh.
have failed us. We are saying
Yeah.
they should step aside.
That-
Okay, they should not be the one to lay the groundwork for us. What
You
we
see,
think we
one
want
thing,
to do.
Paul.
We should be the
Okay,
one to detect
let's
what we
see.
want to do.
One
Not
thing
them.
will happen. Listen to me. Let me say something, boss. One thing will happen right now.
Yeah, so
If we
step them,
if you keep insisting that those guys will not leave easily, we're all going to lose it.
don't go to
Because
elections.
I come in to the point. Let me
Yeah.
say something, Paul. It will be a point one party can win election in Liberia. And those guys got a hand. So they got to control.
Yeah, but in any case, we're not depending. We're running against them, so we're not depending on that number to win.
Yeah, but
So we got to come back
I'll come in. They also
opposition.
also be in power. They got to control machinery to do what they want to do to get into power. They can keep there for another years and mess it up. You saw when George Weah came to the back, returned to the country. You see that massive turn up. You may say that
The
it's not
power
true.
for them to
I will-
stay in power is
I will
not in
take
their
you
head.
back. I will
The
take you
voters
back.
are going to vote them out. They know the voters are going
I
to
will
vote them
take you
out. That's
back.
why they are
Listen,
afraid.
this
Get
not.
this straight.
This is not. I will tell you, Paul, what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at right now is not from the voters.
Hi,
It's not,
Emil.
Paul. It's
Yeah,
not from
listening.
it's not from the Liberian perspective. It's from the international perspective. What's happening right now? What the brother is not finding out is like they've been talked to. Things are not going well, right? That's why I'm giving my perspective right now. If you look at the Liberian perspective, those guys, Koji and the CDC government can mess with anything in that country. Nothing happens. But those guys are looking at it. If you have to be very careful, if you want Liberia, because the international community has spent too much money for Liberia. The other African countries have shared too many blood for Liberia. We don't want anything to reoccurrence anything in that country anymore. So we need a proper leadership in that country. So they are listening. Probably they're saying who the best person to approach. I'm giving another scenario here, Paul. The best approach is to talk to ANC. They could be honest in their saying, but I keep saying to you, while we are a little bit emotional about it, let's sit and listen. What do they have to offer? I keep saying this. Why are you saying? You can't just turn your back on them.
We can listen. I agree.
You can't turn your back on them. What are you offering? I come
No,
in, Paul.
I
I'm coming
agree.
here, Linford. Come here, Linford. What I point here is I keep bringing back their man issue. The party in
You talk about civil last word, man.
no, so now you see, this is the thing. They've got a bad partisan government. It happened it's going to happen anywhere. It also happened in other African countries where I can call you names, where the government can come and see the main opposition and have correlation. Not even collaboration, correlation.
In Norway, it happened. In Norway, or
In
the past
correlation.
government,
We can have it in Liberia.
My party is in collaboration with the
So,
ruling
Jamal,
government, but we in second
there's
place.
something here that I picked from you. You just said that because we have traveled for 49 days, and he went to the US summit, and he met other African leaders that are from the region, and also our main partners. Maybe he was told, say, look, you're performing poorly. So is there any way that you could just step aside now and bring other people so he finding the leeway out?
Or you find collaboration with other people to make it better.
And then he go
Do
in
it in a
safe heaven.
do it in a dignified fashion. Then stop.
Right.
Instead of you stepping aside, let's do it in a different way. It could happen that way too.
But that's so
Paul,
something I want to
you want us to transition, we'll transition, but let me get my last question. Yeah, bigger. My last question.
ask your last question. Time not in our
transition,
favor.
Yeah, they transition here. The last question is yeah, Lebanon. They transition here. When we're going into, the collaboration, when we're going into it, what are we going to agree to? We always say, I know because we always say want to be president, so I know what we are.
No, but they're not going into collaboration. When they say they're contemplating, they're thinking of
what if they decide and they come to us and we agree to?
And then the ANC will say, what you get to offer?
I get to offer the second seat, the vice presidency.
Oh, come on.
No, then
this is why I'm saying you're missing the point. You need to be a little bit honest with yourself and come back and be clean here. The thing here about it, we know that why ANC that the first CPP broke apart is because the first position, the leadership, right? There where the CPP did. Now the first CPP broke apart. But we also know that the CPP today is not compromising the presidency to anybody else. So Mr. Kume is no reason for no purpose, for no reason he will give out the position to the leadership to anybody else, because he want to be in charge to control and fix it. So will he like be second to where? Oh man, come on.
No, that can't happen. So I'm going to transition here, Linfa, because I'm going to tie this with what Jefferson Kochi said. The NPP that in collaboration with this government, they also in turmoil today. There's two different groups within the NPP, the Joel Howard group and the James Bardney Uno group. And they went to Supreme Court. They got their funding. So there's two parties, they go to a convention. And what he said, I will play the clip for our listening audience to hear it. It's that because the NPP is falling apart, one of the biggest parties within that collaboration. Is that why Jefferson Kochi and others are now thinking, say, wait a minute, Lord, this thing not going to be good for us. Let's look at ANC. I want you guys to listen to the other NPPs. Maybe that's the link. And Jefferson Kochi might be throwing some sort of code here that we're not understanding. He in there, he a key player within the CDC. Why are they now picking up ANC that they've been going after for years? That ANC 7% did nothing, they don't have to vote. But from the past time they want to quote, all the propaganda network for CDC, they open, they eat comments, they kill comments, they wake up with comments, breakfast are comments, they go to bed, dinner are comments. So why comments now? So listen to this thing from the NPP side, and I want link first. So I know you have link with the NPP, and I want you to come in first when you listen to the first clip.
Lifa is a registered NPP member, so.
Oh, he's a registered member. Okay, let's start.
Let's
start with this one.
Also upheld the 2004 Constitution produced by the Bannis leadership and its amendments, which were adopted in Tottenham-Borough, Bombay County, 2016. The court furthered that the alleged 2016 revised constitution relied on by Madam Joy Howard Taylor, standard bearer of the NPP, be simultaneously declared illegal, null and void ab initio. The national chairman, the national secretary general, and other ranking members of the National Executive Committee are the proper and lawful authority to convene meetings of the party and issue our publication in the name of the party, unquote. In its second ruling, the Supreme Court overturned the decision of the National Elections Commission and recognized James P. Banning as the legitimate chairman of the party. And all officers in his leadership, and requested him, Chairman Banning, to take the party to a 7th biennial convention in line with the party constitution, and mandated the civil law court to resume jurisdiction over the matter.
Linfa.
Yeah.
So the NPP, they went to the Supreme Court. James Banning was given all clear. He's the legitimate chairman of the party. And now Joel Howard also have another chairperson on the other side. So that division in the NPP and James Banning and other, we know that is election time. People now are talking to other parties around. There's negotiation going all over the place. We know that Joseph Nima Barker was in Nima County these few days. People are moving about. Is this what's scaring the CDC? Talk to about the NPP. What's going on with them?
Okay, first and foremost, in my over 50 years of life, I have voted only one time. That was 1997 elections.
Right.
And the reason I voted was I was close to Mr. Taylor. I worked for him at the time at the radio station. But I'm not a registered member of any political party in my life in Liberia, no. And I have voted one time in my over 50 years of existence. So if I were in Liberia, this would have been my second time voting. So all the voting things are very strange to me. So Jemai was 100% wrong when he said I'm a registered member of the NPP. I'm a sympathizer or by heart member of the NPP because I came from that background. And I know all of the people, the Joe Howard, the Cyril Allen, the this and that, all of them, I know them like my ABC. That's besides the point. But moving forward, to answer your question, I don't think the division within the MPP has to scare the CDC and for them to want to make a decision to look for another collaboration. The sole reason why the CDC is afraid and they're looking for collaboration from even a stronger party or opponent is because they know they have dismally failed. They have disappointed the people who voted for them. They no more have grips on the population that voted for them, and so they don't see their way clear in the coming election. That's the simplest, basic reason. Now, addressing the division within the NPP. The NPP has been a divided party, has always had problems, even from Taylor days. Okay? And I can bear witness to that. And the reason is simple. You see the components of the NPP, the hard-headed people. That party was formed on the ground, on the tough ground. That party was not formed like, you just call one group of people, they come. And I will tell you, from the early days of the MPROH in Banga, there were hard-headed people. When they used to go to that county administration building, they would clash till and say, will get us and then you leave from there. The talk is like, people not want to hear him. The hard-headed people form that party. So no one person can just walk over them. So Joy Howard Taylor, being a lady, she has been able to, control the party to some extent. But I can tell you, you got hard-headed people in that party. Some of them are even left. Like what is guy, Sano Johnson, who is now I don't know which party is Joy LP. No, not LP or not US party. ALP. Okay. So they got hard-headed people in that party. Now the new, I think, Secretary General that is on Joe Howard Taylor side, because Stanley Packney is one of the high-headed guys. Okay, so I know that party from day one. That party have been having strong, high-headed people. So that confusion is not new. In fact, you remember just a couple of months ago when they went to things were City Hall for that convention. What happened there? They fought physical fight. They broke the City Hall windows and other stuff. So that party will always have that problem. But as a party, they will always hold together. And let me tell you one thing. There is this fear, maybe some citizens might be bearing this fear, the confusion in CDC, it might make CDC, or within the NPP, might make NPP to leave. NPP is not going anywhere. Quote me from now until eternity. I say NPP is not going out of that coalition. Nobody has told me, but knowing the kind of party they are, number one. Number two, the NPP committed itself to that process. And if the NPP leaves today, where are they going to? Ask yourself, where are they going to? The NPP is a mixture of the failure of the CDC. The CDC itself is looking for a place to hide itself. They got a satoga on their head, they're looking for a place to carry it. So if the NPP will leave, where are they going to? So they will all just remain in that shape, or that loose boat, a loose string that is going with no brake, until wherever it will crash, it will crash. They're not going anywhere. So no citizen should be afraid that NPP is leaving.
So Jamal, Linford say NPP going nowhere. Granted, but one of the strong founder of the NPP, Louis Brown, Toka Touch, and those people, they are now they are with Tim Cummins. And now we see division within the NPP. It says, because we're talking that negotiation going all over the place. In my mind, it's a time that probably Louis Brown all in the back end doing some negotiation. Before you come in, I want to play something about Joy Howard Taylor. She no longer stand-up bearer of the NPP. Then you can put that into bed for us, please. Let me play this one.
Entered the convention hall, assembled a disorderly crowd in gross disregard to the ruling of the Supreme Court in the yard of the Pinsville Town Hall. She inducted herself as stand-up bearer for a third term and pronounced Councillor Stanley McLean as her new chairman and Partisan Morris P. as her Secretary General. In response to her action, Chief Allen, Chairman Emeritus of the party, issued a public condemnation of Madam Taylor's action and termed it unconstitutional. Additionally, the Governing Council of the Coalition for Democratic Change released a statement affirming the Bani's leadership and rejecting Stanley McLean as chairman of the NPP. Mrs. Taylor subsequently announced to the public that she stood by her actions and called on the coalition to recognize that the NPP is an independent party and she will not abide by what the coalition said. She has since run a parallel structure of the party in Monrovia and in counties where her actions are rejected by the NPP partisans. Be that as it may, on the second Saturday of December 2022, Madam Joy Howard Taylor's tenure as standard bearer of the NPP constitutionally ended, in line with Article 3.2 and number 1 of the NPP Constitution. I repeat, on the second Saturday of December 2022.
So, her standard bearership have ended. She cannot go for the third term. And the MPP, and she's the vice president, and she'll be going again for the second term under the president George Weah. Put this into perspective. They going or they staying? According to the lead for the going nowhere. So talk to us, Jamal, from your own. We can hear you, Jamal.
You missed it.
Still. No?
Okay, I can come in while Jima is struggling to get the volume or the audio. You see, I told you that the MPP is going nowhere. But with the situation with Madam Joy Howard Taylor, she's in a catch-22 situation.
Right.
She's committed the MPP to that collaboration, which most of the MPP people have problem with, for which they are not resigning from the MPP, but supporting other opposition parties because they don't want to be part of the CDC. One. Two, the resistance that she's having within the party itself. And three, the split in the party will weaken her position as standard bearer. In fact, the second Saturday in December, according to them, which was some 2 weeks ago, her tenure was over. So, by paper, by law, by any means or measure, she's no more standard bearer of the MPP. So, right now, the Jim Barney faction can say, well, we're going to have a new standard bearer, we're going to convention, we're going to have a new standard bearer. Since the first one was interrupted, we're going to have a new standard bearer, we're going to elect a new standard bearer. So Joy Howard Taylor will remain in a collaboration with the, remember, she will have some people with her as well.
Yeah.
Even when Satan is going to hell, he'll take care of people. So she will have her people with her, and that people with her will be the one that will form the collaboration with this, that will be in a collaboration with the CDC. Then the Barney faction will also carry a chunk of the people, and they will decide what to do. And those are the ones that might either decide, well, we're going to support other opposition parties against the CDC, for sure. So if you hear me tell you that the MPP as a party is not going to withdraw, because you want to meet, because tell me now, from all indication, Paul, put this into your own perspective. If Joy Howard leads today, she's no more, by law, she's no more standard bearer of the MPP. So if she leaves today the CDC, where is she going? Who she will be? She's not vice president, she's not anything in the MPP.
And that's what I want Jamal to come in.
Yeah, so she will remain there under that pretense that, okay, yeah, we are CDC. I mean, we are MPP within the CDC. She will remain there as that skeleton group.
So Linford, if the James Barney group decide to join another party, they all have, so it's almost like the
Liberty Party
divided. So this the the how they call it MPP, they that said not divided and it could join someone. So this is interesting, Jamal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come,
Do you hear me now, guys?
yes.
I just want Linford to retract what he said earlier. He's a registered. He have just given a very good information about NPP. Let him tell us this.
What? I didn't hear you.
I mean,
You
I was
just gave
just
him information about
yeah,
MPP.
very genuine information about NPP. So you should tell us if you retract your statement. You said that you're not a registered member. You are a registered member.
No, my
You're a
No,
member
I'm
funny,
not a
don't leave.
registered member. I
you're
told
a,
you I come from the NPP background.
you're a funny
I did
father
not
of
deny.
you're one of the funny member of NPP. Anyway, thank you very much for that clarification. Oh, guys, let me tell you why I think MPP is not a party. It's a bunch of people that are just causing noise. The people that are
No,
holding that
you
MPP
try that
together.
statement. NPP is a party. That's
Okay.
a form of ruling
Why are you
party.
fighting? You see the problem right now? He's fighting for MPP. I'm not a registered member. Why are you fighting for MPP?
No, I mean the fact is the
I
fact.
just said that to you see what I'm trying to say. I just said that to able to to get his inform to step on his toes. Now he's coming up now to tell
I'm
me that
fighting
he's
for
not
the
a registered
CPP,
member.
the ANC. I'm not a registered member of the ANC, but I support Mr. Cummings and the ANC.
Okay, let
Yeah,
it,
but
let
The
it
program
go flow.
against the ANC,
okay, let me flow.
I correct the
Let
mistakes.
me flow. Let me flow. Let me flow.
Flo,
Okay.
go ahead.
I'm not. I mean, to be on the serious note, I'm not. MPP is a party, but let me be serious here. Paul, parties in Africa, specifically in our setting, is around one person. The whole MPP, if you talk about MPP, it's about Joe Howard Taylor right now. The emeritus chairman, Sierra Allen, other people, the James Barney, they're all hanging around. If there's no Joe Howard Taylor, there's no MPP at the moment because what she's done for the first 5 years, she put that party to the highest height after Taylor left. Consider that they take what she said right now. I listened to reading of that stuff. They want I don't know who was reading that note. That the Supreme Court has given her she's no longer the chairman of that party. I mean, a member of that party. She can go in. She can go independent. Yeah, she got she got her people that support her, and she got the money. She got the support. She got the connections now because the years she spent. So what I'm saying here is like she can keep her network, her popularity, and take it as independent. Something to consider. The MPP already abandoned her. She can go and say, I mean, CDC was taking over as the running mate for George Weah. So the issue of this making the press statement is not going anywhere. I believe that you go and discuss, settle the palaver, whatever issue they have. Their school, if I any school, they have to settle their school and come back and work together. Because without Joa Hotel at this moment, there's no NPP. Because she made NPP what NPP is today. That's the fact I will tell you right now. Another thing I will tell you, who would they go to? Now let's consider now. Can you open the door for MPP to consider their breakaway? Can you open that to pump out of ANC or coalition? If you are skeptical of apprehensive of CDC, can you take NPP into honor your wings? I see.
Are you
I'm
asking
asking
me?
Linford. Yeah, Linford. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I will take NPP under my wings.
Why?
Yeah, very good.
There are no different reference. CDC.
Yeah, thank you for asking why. The reason is MPP is just a fragment of the CDC that is ruling. If MPP pulls away today, the CDC still remain as a ruling party. Okay, so the CDC against whom I'm opposing that I want to unseat, I cannot go into collaboration with them easily like I would do with anybody that broke away from them. Because if anybody breaks away from them, I am of the opinion and the conviction that this person who broke away from there broke away because of the same reasons that I see for which I want to go against them. Okay, so I will any day, any hour, any minute take
There's
the
any difference
NPP.
there's any difference between CDC and NPP. Are
Yes.
there any difference? What's the difference?
The difference is that they are in a collaboration. They are not. They are married. Two people. When you marry, they say you are two. I mean, you are one, or you stay between your individual characteristics.
Paul,
so if I was a thief and I marry my wife and my wife is not a thief, being married does not make her a thief.
Paul, two things happen here, guys. They are not getting the guy into power. I know that Joe Taylor has been having issue with the Madam Joe Howard Taylor all along from the start of this party. She never supported Joe Howard Taylor, the vice president. They have been having the rivalry going on for the bickering going on for some time. We all know it came even to the public light or everything. It was in the public domain at some point. They couldn't speak at some point, right? But now, what we are saying that as even with my background, I got my mother from Bond County. I know very well that some candidates she was supporting. Joe Taylor was supporting, which they're against Joe Howard Taylor. But what the case here is right now, Julian, for you should know that they need the support of Joe Howard Taylor. Without Supreme Court decision that she's not the head. I mean, she shouldn't run for that on that ticket anymore. It will not help them at all as a party. So my advice would be let them go and settle their score and come back. If they don't want to form a coalition, CDC, let them go ahead. But without Joe Howard Taylor, that party is not existent. Tell me, I can tell you that. Who knows about CDC? I mean, NPP after Taylor left.
And this brings me to the point that if the banning faction of the NPP is strong in terms of number, okay, that will weaken the position of the Joe Howard Taylor faction within the CDC.
How will it weaken?
This will be one of the reasons why the CDC might want hope from somewhere else.
I want to add something on this. There's two Taylor daughters also with the banning group.
Yes.
They are very influential with that group. Charlie and then Zoe, they with that group. James Banning just won Maryland County. He got 9 years in the House. He's also influential on that side because I want an MPP base. Now, my thing here, I want you guys, because Jamal is saying Joel Howard carried a bigger portion. It's almost a Yumley and most ability situation here. But that other side, if they decide to go with another party, isn't that weakening the CDC?
That's exactly what I was saying now.
That look at from that perspective.
That's exactly what I was saying.
I
told you earlier on. That the NPP is divided, right? So the banning faction will carry his group. Joe Howard will still have few people behind her. And that frame will represent what is MPP in the CDC today in the collaboration. It will be there. Whether that 10 people, they will still be represented. But what numerical strength do they have that CDC can depend on? So that will almost render Joe Howard Taylor, I don't want to use the word useless, will render her irrelevant in being a collaboration within the CDC. You see the point I'm making? With 10 people behind you, even though you are still representing a party.
Let me take you back to where the NPP won when during the past election. Where did they win?
Mm-hmm.
That is statistics right here. Apart from Maryland, where did the major constitutional area? Where's NPP major constitutional point? Where is it?
Banga, Bonkante.
Thank you. Why is that?
That's the home of NPP.
Okay, and who is and the lady that's a PP? She's a native of Bond County, right? Is it not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, right. That's the point. You see the point I was talking about, Paul, today. The party is around a person, like now with the leader right now. The winner party, that's what the problem is. MPP is surrounded. MPP is being glued to Mr. Joe Howard Taylor. James Banning can win Maryland because his popularity in Maryland. Right? Look, I'll tell you something. The Charlie Taylor, the Joe Taylor, the Zoe Taylor, whatever you're talking about, it's almost like tell me Samuel Doe's son is going to run for some kind of job. Or is there like there's still people say you keep away from politics for right now? Yeah, you keep away from politics for now. It's not a time for you. We want to build a system until you grow up, until you can fight your way out. People, the stuff of the war is stay fresh on our minds. You know why I gave Joe Howard Taylor the chance to win? Because if you look at practically, she was not on the war front with Taylor. She was not on the war front with Taylor. She was somewhere out there at the end of the time when Taylor came to Monrovia because she's being part of the system. That's how sometimes she got some popularity, and I hope people enjoy her life. She actually can really, go around with her. But why is it like the issue of look at the TRC? She's not even mentioning the TRC. Is she mentioning one of the accused in the TRC? No. TRC report, check it.
But Jamal, let be honest here though. most decisions that men take at times is come from the women in the house. Honey,
Okay.
what you think about tomorrow? I want to do this. And their advice can be detrimental at times. You know this. So not because she's not on the war front, but
No,
some
but no. I
No,
mean,
but I will tell you,
no,
no, there is not.
she was not in Banga, was she?
No,
was not
even
in
no,
Banga.
she used to be in Banga. But I
exactly.
No,
will
but
tell
she
you
was not
something.
a key. She was not a key
Yeah, but
person at the
let me
time
tell
of
you
the
something,
war.
Paul. In the jurisprudence system, there is nothing like guilt by association. So as long
No, what
as
I'm saying, no, you don't understand. What I'm trying to say, you probably don't get me. I'm not saying
no, I'm
she's
not talking to
guilty of.
you. I'm talking to. I
Okay.
mean, I'm just trying to explain something to Paul. What Paul said. Paul trying to say something. There is nothing like guilt by association. If I commit a crime, you can't hold my family responsible for that until there are sufficient
We'll tell
reasons.
your family to apologize for the crime committed.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's optional. They can say, yeah,
We'll tell you to apologize on behalf of your family because they committed a
yeah,
crime.
but they can also decide not to do it and withdraw themselves from me. It's simple.
And you know
But
why
wait
you
a
don't
minute,
plan?
Lynn, for the reason why I brought this out,
Mm.
there's this allegation that been going around about Louis Brown,
That
who
he's
sat
bringing
in the
in what?
office. Eh?
That's what he's doing. What's the allegation?
The allegation that he one of those that brought the war, and that's what they've been running with. So now the man who brought the war, his wife.
No, they are not saying that Louis Brown brought war. They are saying that Louis Brown was
I've heard it
secretly a
so many
pastor.
times. They said Louis Brown brought war. That was it. They said it many
Yeah,
times.
because they are ignorant.
Exactly. So you
What
talk
does
about guilty without association. The reason what I'm saying this, and this one, the guy himself who brought the war is the wife.
Yeah,
So,
but that's what I'm saying. He brought a war, but not his wife. Okay,
but
so will we hold Nancy door, or
no.
do
So
we have the right to?
what I'm saying here says sometimes decisions are made in a house.
yeah, but
No.
guys,
Yeah, but
Paul,
still, once you do have sufficient proof that you're thinking that
Okay.
Taylor will sit down, Taylor,
uh,
Joe Howard will not military, so Taylor will not sit down and
Okay.
tell Joe Howard, I'm going
Right. Right.
to go
So,
tomorrow.
guys,
Paul,
It's the
yeah.
military general
on
that are
the
making
issue
those
of
decisions.
the vice president. The vice president is a powerful person in the house right now.
Agreed.
Okay. The good thing that's going to happen right now, what CPP were looking for, the breakaway of MPP coming to a CPP, probably because of Ambassador Louis G. Brown connection. They've been once, you know what? We're not going to be part of CDC anymore. We'll go to the CPP. That will be a big boost for them. Right. That's the only way that's the only way it will matter for, it will be a big deal for them. Or else Joe, I will tell she have laid a foundation in a way that she's popular right now. She got the resources, she got a connection. Unlike all those James Barney, the people you're talking about in the MPP. MPP could have a party, have a structure. But then if you have structure, if you have to have the parties is just around one person in Africa. That's how it is.
Yeah. So that's how it is. And based on our note, we have been here for 2 hour mark now, guys. So, and I want to say, when Linford come back, we can have
Well, Paul, you guys can get close. I'll be in the past stage for a while, so you can get closer for tonight.
okay, all right. So, Jamal,
Yes.
we know that 2023 is just around the corner,
Right.
and tomorrow we'll be coming back on Bottom Line to talk about the our year in review, talk to see what we did. We've been operating over a year now. We want to say thanks to our viewers that have been with us also. But looking at the topic today, I think it was a great topic. It was good argument, and it made a lot of sense that if Kochi, the CDC is thinking about talking to this ANC. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, contemplating talking to ANC. I think it'll be good for them to give a listening ear and see what these guys got to say, because there's turmoil within their party. We know that bulk of the CDC members, the original members, have left. It left a few, handful of people. If the MPP is also in disarray, there is not a good news for the CDC, the sitting government. That means they will definitely be one term if the way things go. If the MPP break out, they will take a lot of group from Banca as well, because I know apart from Joao Taylor, they get strong partisan also in the Banca in the Bon County area that will go along with James Brownlee. So for the CPP at this time, I think whoever want to come on board to join the Big Ten, they will be welcoming for them. So I look at it that way, and I think it's a good thing for Liberia that in the end we might get rid of the George Weah government for a better government. That's how I see it from my own little understanding. So the topic was good today. So I don't know what you want to give your late closing part thoughts on what we discussed, and then we can call it a day and then prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah, first I want to say thank you to all those who follow us. And what we discuss here is not about policy politics. It's about Liberia. It's from our bottom of our hearts. You see, we sit here, we don't talk ANC, Liberty Party, LP, whatever party it is. We talk about what is good for Liberia from our very, very, very hearts. And with regard to what is the Koji's story, Paul, there are two factors to these issues. Could the government of we are led government, CDC-led government, could be facing pressure from outside? That's one. International pressure should come on. You are failing the system, you got failed system, and the internal pressure is not much compared to what is coming from outside. That's what people don't understand. If these guys are coming out and say, "Oh, well, Koji coming up to come up in the way that you want to bring ANC on board," you know what it means? So there are a lot of things been going in the background. So that's why I said we should listen to him. What does he have to offer? That's one thing. You guys that we can't share with them, we don't sit with him, we don't want to discuss with them. It doesn't work like that. Then we are not patriotic as Liberia. It will mean Liberia first. This is being greedy. Let's listen to him. Liberia is for every one of us. Let's see what he has to offer. If it's not something, if he has to offer, if he's fishing a trap, I mean, ANC and people of CPP, they are well experienced enough to know what is a trap.
Yeah.
So they know. So let's listen to them and see what they're offering. Mr. Comey was so naive at the start. That's why he got trapped with the first CPP coalition. Now he's not the kind of person you can't easily get in. He's now battle potent. You can't get just trapped in anymore. So we shouldn't be apprehensive of the call. They are sending a call. Let's listen to them. Sit with them. That will be my advice. And another thing to that, Paul, again, is the NPP thing. Louis Brown too is a powerful force with other people, not only Louis Brown. People like George Wishner, other people that are making it happen in Liberia. The communist team. What they are doing right now, they are doing so good job in our country. Probably these parties, NPP, if they break out, it'll be a good sign for us. So if they break up and come to CPP, good news for CPP. You're gonna solidify our position as a CPP. So what happened? It weakened the position of CDC. So CDC does not face any internal threat in terms of people's. If you go Liberia right now, do your something. ANC will come second in terms of to CDC. I'm being honest with you right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, outside the pressure on the George Weah-led government is from outside. It's not from inside. That's it. So we need to know that. So that's why they're putting on a proposition like let's talk, let's do this. From now on, the guy was so quick to come to make some statement. But probably you will hear some story before the end of 2 or 3 months from now. Things will change. And let's listen to Weah's statement when he came back from abroad for the 8 trips. He was not that abusive like he does normally. Oh, look, and this part of the country, we want to fix it. Look at that big gut. He's trying to make it in a way like look nice. He's tired. But anyway, what we're looking for, Liberia, is all we want. And tomorrow we'll be looking at what we've been doing for the past 2 and plus months in this place. And we'll be looking at what we expect for 2023. What are the big thing changes we may be expecting Liberia and around us.
Yeah.
And this is what we'll be looking at tomorrow. And if you are listening to us, if you're watching on today, we also tell us to join us tomorrow on both on our TV. This is our StreamYard TV, Borderline Liberia TV, and also online. Or if you can't catch it right now, you can always watch on the Facebook and YouTube later on. We always do this every time. We also our website, don't forget, is theborderlineliberia.com. We always go there. We always have our recorded program is there. We all latest news of ANC and what Mr. Kumi has been doing. You will follow him and activities of ANC and what's happening in Liberia also. So, Paul, that's all I can say much about what we've been doing here. And Thank you for having me after being away for a little while. And
Yeah.
it was a nice conversation tonight.
And it's good to have you all the time because people see you as callers. So make yourself available most times so they can recognize if it. So Lifa.
Well, I'll be a controversial caller. Don't call me the controversial.
Okay, for me, I think the show was good generally, and we did discuss the issue. We disagreed, and I love the role Chima was playing, and it gave some spice to the program. It makes it to low balance. Like we had Javosi Koji on the show trying to defend it. So, but tomorrow, like you said, we'll be here with the year in review. We'll try to go over some of the major things that we discussed during the year. And so you are welcome to come tomorrow. Please share the show. And Merula Mo will let you say thank you very much for being part of the program. And we had a new person today, Wanse Boma. I don't know whether he's related to Nyakwe Boma, but we encourage you to come back next time. And so that's all from my end, Paul. Thank you very much for everyone and for the show.
Well, okay. I would like to say Happy New Year to everybody. As we go into 2023, we will have a better Liberia. And tomorrow we'll be here. Join us. Share our link with your friends, your contacts, and wherever group you're in. It was good. We're looking forward to tomorrow again for a fascinating show. And what happens if something comes up, we'll talk about before we get into the year in review. So, guys, I'll be looking forward to you all for a great show tomorrow. So, on this note, I'm going to leave with the Buka dance. I think the Buka music from the university student I like this music. So, I will say goodbye to everyone. Listen and tune in tomorrow. When